Hello, friends. Please consider supporting the Flavors and Knowledge podcast. Donated proceeds are applied to absorb the cost of cooking classes and health education for children. Help a child affected with diabetes with a sponsorship donation toward adequately managing the condition through Food First. Chef Walter's Children Diabetes Foundation brings this message. Welcome back, dear friends. This is Chef Walter with another episode of Flavors and Knowledge. As you know, we cover food, lifestyle, health and wellness, history, and much more. And once we all get vaccinated and restore some usual mindset, we will certainly consider a return to traveling to Italy. A country will always entice you with the romance, the food lovers, the artists, the wine enthusiast, and everyone else impacted by COVID. We'll add the ladies looking to emulate to the Under the Tuscan Sun experience of the list. There will always be an Italian, one riding on a Vespa, with usually skinny trousers looking to glamorize you. And once we're in Italy, we will confront cooking that vaguely resembles our food that we are accustomed to having. I've put together a small list here of the most popular requests to ease your dining experience once you are over into the peninsula. I'm going to begin with the most symbolic representation of Italian food misconception. One day the spaghetti met the meatball here in the United States. They went out on a date and they stayed friends forever. As you know, we like to tweak on all kinds of foods, somehow feeling like contributing to the invention of something new. We invent weird concoction, use ingredients in the erroneous order, and use so much garlic that's becoming a severe strain on relationships. All kidding aside, during the immigration movement, the need to save on time induced Italian moms to pair the pasta with the meat. Italians learned the art of practicality, rejecting the fundamental reasons why cooking is about science plus creativity. And being practical often may become detrimental. Pasta, as you know, is the second course of the meal after the antipasti and preludes meat or vegetable proteins. Pasta of any type and formula want to remain alone on the plate and without any friends who could disturb the taste. And so I'm strongly suggesting to follow the Italian meal structure because it really makes sense. The second point of interest is garlic bread, which is an American invention, covered with garlic, cheese, and whatever else you have in the refrigerator. If you buy a great loaf of bread and bake, or perhaps bake your own, there is no need to top it with very much other than some excellent extra virgin olive oil and a dash of salt. It makes no culinary sense to hide the wholesome flavor of great bread. In Italian, we have something similar, which is called bruschetta, from the word brusca, which translates into roast. Slices of roasted bread are toasted on an open fire and they are served with a new crop of olive oil and a dash of marine salt. Nothing more. If you need to get something out of your system, perhaps you want to go to Olive Garden, where you can feast on garlic bread and missile rod breadsticks, often loaded with cheap flour, sugar, and high in sodium. So, the conclusion is, garlic bread does not exist in Italy. We have something similar called bruschetta. The third point of interest is shrimp scampi. The word scampo is the Italian word for shrimp. So the plate's name is shrimp. The wordage alone will raise to some questions, don't you think? Shrimp scampi, served with pasta, is a garlicky butter sauce that does not exist. You can saute shrimp with extra virgin and minced scallions, some lemon juice and parsley, perhaps some wine as an option. Soak some bread in the sauce and feast on it. Your version of scampi will be healthier than the typical American standard, which is loaded with about 510 calories, 960 milligrams of sodium, and 54 grams of calories. So that's an option to consider. Then we have, of course, the marinara sauce, another sauce that does not exist in Italy. Regional cooking offers several variations of tomato-based sauces, but marinara is not one of them. The word itself is also confusing. Marina is the location where we dock our boats. That would mean that we should use the sauce for seafood. But we use it on everything else, including pizza and lasagna and other products. So if you like something lighter and flavorful, perhaps opt for the fresh pomodoro sauce or maybe a puttanesca. Both sauces are made by crushing whole tomato into a skillet with olive oil and one garlic clove usually left with the skin on. As you know, garlic gets discarded after cooking. That's right, Italians do not ingest garlic every single time. The idea in cooking garlic is to remove the milky substance in the flesh that actually flavors your sauce. You have probably heard of Italian wedding soup. This humorous soup gets me laughing every time. It contains sausage and pasta in broth. Still, I have no clue about the name, and of course it's not even very healthy. Boiling sausage in a chicken or vegetable broth releases fat into the liquid, increasing the cholesterol content and leaving a greasy coating on your palate. The soup, however, derives from the Neapolitan classic minestra maritata, the marriage of meat and greens. But what we offer does not resemble anything like the original. One dish that resembles the wedding soup is a Sicilian version made with small meatballs, of course with a mix of beef and raisins. It sounds slightly weird until you taste it though. The nutmeg in the mix imparts a lovely scent deriving from the Arab influence in Sicilian islands. Skip the wedding soup, because if it does not taste or look good, you won't have much luck with your mother-in-law anyway. Italian subs. These subs, or oggies, pack piles of cured meats, cheese, and greens between some high-sugar, quick-leavened bread. The absurd high level of nitrates and sodium may be an option when you are in a pinch, but not regularly. It is, however, ironic that these subs lead the sales in many of the sandwich shops across the land. Well, if the bottom line takes precedence over a healthy body, then, of course, skip this paragraph. There is nothing more divine than a grilled panino with prosciutto, arugula, and melted scamorza. How many of you have had the Italian dressing? There is no such a thing as an Italian dressing, just like there is no such a thing as white balsamic vinegar. They are both American inventions, and probably started by a consumer unreasonable request. Italians use only red wine vinegar and olive oil, with some herbs and spices for a salad. As you travel south of the country, lemon and oranges become prevalent as an acid of choice. White vinegar is primarily used for light marinade, and seafood salad so that not to change the color of the overall condiment. And of course, the mighty balsamic, always available in every age and format. For the pizza lover, I have one for you. No, you cannot order pepperoni pizza in Italy. If you do, you will face a pizza with the sweet peppers instead. Italian immigrants to America probably mispronounced the word and quickly translated it into the meat. In actuality, there is not a salami or a sausage that looks like an American pepperoni in the country of Italy. If you are looking for meat on your pizza, you probably will receive some prosciutto, mortadella, bresaola, or perhaps a Tuscan sausage. Pizza has less cheese, less sauce, and thinner crust. The Neapolitan version is softer in texture, and it's eaten with a fork and a knife or folded in two so that the topping does not spill. One of my favorites is, of course, chicken parmesan. Great comfort food, but not Italian at all, or found anywhere in the peninsula. Something similar is eggplant alla parmigiana, but is not dredged in the breadcrumb coating. The term alla parmigiana implies dishes topped with Parmigiano cheese, not mozzarella, Gruyere, Gouda, or other blends. Once chicken get coated with flour, egg, and wash, and of course breadcrumb, there is little chicken to taste. And very often, in many restaurants, they use a double coating so to increase the weight portion of the product that they're serving. The coating becomes a sponge, will absorb all of the fat, and it will turn anything into a heavy meal. The mighty fettuccine Alfredo, made only with fresh butter and Parmigiano. The Italian Alfredo does not come close to the American cousin, which is loaded with thick, heavy cream sauce or fatty, heavy cream. But in every little Italy across the country, you can get your fix with a heavy version. So if you were to make fettuccine Alfredo for yourself, again, unsalted fresh butter and Parmigiano, and please use the cooking water where your pasta is boiling. Another dish that frightens me is the mozzarella sticks. Italians eat fried cheese, mostly specific types, but mozzarella is not one of them. There is not a cheese that resembles the so-called American mozzarella. At least I haven't seen one. It's simply a made-up formula of ingredients of pasteurized par-skim milk, cheese culture, salt enzymes, natamsin, which is a natural mold inhibitor, and other ingredients. The soft texture of fresh mozzarella makes it impossible to fry because the milk will disappear when it touches the hot oil. And so fresh mozzarella is a completely different product than the American style of mozzarella, which you will find fried, of course, coated with some type of breading in your favorite franchise. Then I have the latte's dilemma, which fascinates Italian cafes. I think that every time, it reminds me essentially of one time at an Italian airport. I was standing behind a young American couple that were asking for a double latte. The visibly puzzled server placed 2 glasses of milk on the counter. Latte in Italian is milk. So I was observing the scene, and I tried to help in clearing the misunderstanding and explain the reasoning. The young couple resisted and found the request perfectly normal. I also explained that it was 1:30 in the afternoon, and not even in kindergarten they offered milk. I could certainly go on with several more examples, but I'll stop here. So, it's a start for the new Italian traveler in you, and I want to thank you for listening. If you have a chance, please follow us on YouTube. We have a great short video program, which I think you'll find interesting. Of course, follow Flavors and Knowledge on Anchor.fm or your preferred podcast platforms. And we offer Italian food and culture tours, which are on www. Italian Culinary Center. I have a trip scheduled for 2022 in Puglia, one in Central Italy, and one in Sicily. And maybe one of them would be of your interest. If you are on occasion today or tonight, or perhaps you go to your favorite franchise, please keep this on your phone so you can refer to every time you're in doubt to see if truly there are some dishes that are truly Italian in the menus. I doubt very much that the ones that I mentioned will appear in Italy. Stay well and be safe.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.